Over the past 6 weeks of Lent, we have been exploring salvation history from the Garden of Eden to Palm Sunday, using the Hebrew scriptures of the first readings at Sunday Mass. On the first Sunday, God gave Adam and Eve the original blessing of everything there was in the whole of the garden except for that one tree. That one tree that if they ate of it would make them the centre of the universe instead of God. But they were tempted and took up the temptation, and original sin entered the world. Death became a way of life. Cain killed Abel. Humanity built towers of Babel to prove they were greater than God. Humanity was flooded with its own sinful pride. Humanity did all it could to remain the centre of the world, sometimes to the exclusion of God. God sought a covenant with Abraham that would make him a leader of a nation, sands that would stream God's blessing back to the whole world. But this was never realised. God sought a covenant with Moses, but they grumbled in the desert and wanted to go back to Egypt until Moses struck the rock and water gushed forth. God sought to make with David a great new king of the united tribes, but David himself made himself the centre of his achievements with an eye for his own comfort. God sought with Ezekiel the prophecy of new bones and a new heart of flesh. God sought through Isaiah and the other prophets a promise that one would come to right the wrongs, that the deportations of Assyria and Babylon would not end in destruction, but in new life of God's enduring presence. Jesus comes to destroy the original sin of death through his own death and to restore life. His death was a ransom for many in salvation history. His death was good, not because of a painful crucifixion, but because he opened to us Eden, the original blessing, and invited us into the garden of God's delight. When Jesus Christ steps from the tomb, it is into a garden of new life. Some even thought he was the gardener. Therefore, it is a Good Friday, because the cross has become the tree of life, and we have been made heirs to the garden kingdom of hope. Cardinal Ratzinger once said that today people have a view of eliminating suffering from the world. For the individual, that means avoiding pain and suffering in whatever way they can. Yet we must also see that it is in this very way that the world becomes hard and very cold. Pain is a part of being human. Anyone who really wants to get rid of suffering would have to get rid of love before anything else, because there can be no love without suffering, because it always demands an element of self-sacrifice. You see, my friends, love is itself a passion beyond the mere existential emptiness of pain. Self-sacrifice is holy and good. Christ endured this for us. Therefore, today is a Good Friday.